The Las Vegas housing market is losing its mind and nobody's talking about it. So Las Vegas homes just hit $489,000, $500,000 for a house in the literal desert where it's 115 degrees and your AC bill costs more than some people's rent. Bro, you're paying Ferrari money to live in a toaster oven. Let that sink in. Real quick, smash subscribe right now so you never miss the next money hack that could literally save you thousands. I got you, fam. Let's go! What's good, legends? This is Mark Finance and Reports, and today we're diving into the Las Vegas housing market because it is doing some wild stuff right now in December 2025 that nobody's breaking down for regular people. Like, are prices dropping? Are they skyrocketing? Should you buy? Should you rent? Should you just live in your car in a Walmart parking lot and call it a day? We're about to answer all of that, bro. Buckle up. Are house prices dropping in Las Vegas? All right, first question everybody's asking me. Mark, are house prices dropping in Las Vegas? And the short answer, no. But hold on, because it's more complicated than that, and this is where people get confused. So, November 2025, the median home price in Vegas hit $488,995. That's up 3.1% from October and 1.9% year over year. That's an all-time record high, bro. But then you got Redfin and some other sites saying prices are down like 2% compared to last year. So which is it, up or down? Here's what actually happened. Mid-2025, like summer, Vegas was the fastest cooling housing market in America, according to Redfin. Inventory exploded, homes sat longer, sellers panicked and started dropping prices. Like 40% of listings had price cuts. Everyone was like, oh yeah, Vegas is done, the bubble's popping. And then by fall, inventory tightened back up and prices said, nah, we're good, and bounced right back to record highs. So yes, there was a dip mid-year, but it wasn't a crash. It was more like when you turn down the heat on boiling water. It's still hot, it's just not exploding everywhere. Real talk, Vegas went from panic bidding wars to you can actually think for 48 hours before buying. That's not a collapse, bro. That's just the market being normal again. So, are prices dropping? Not really. They dipped slightly, then came roaring back. Right now, they're at all-time highs.
What is the average price of a house in Las Vegas? All right, next up, what is the average price of a house in Las Vegas? So, depending on where you look, you're gonna see different numbers. But here's the deal. The median sale price for a single-family home in Vegas as of November 2025 is $488,995. That's the official number from the Las Vegas Realtors MLS. That's like the scoreboard, bro. Now, Zillow and Redfin show average home values around $436K to $475K, depending on what they're tracking. Either way, we're talking about $500,000 for a house in Las Vegas, a city that's literally just sand, casinos, and people making questionable life choices at 3 a.m. Bro, you're paying luxury car money to live somewhere where stepping outside in July feels like opening an oven to check if your pizza rolls are done. Your skin starts sweating, your thoughts start sweating. And that's just for a regular house. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a yard full of rocks because grass gave up on life there. Now, if you're looking at condos or townhomes, those are cheaper, around $290K to $303K. Still not pocket change, but way more manageable than $500,000. But here's the thing that makes this wild. Back in like 2012, after the crash, you could get a Vegas house for like $150K. That's it. Now, it's $489K. That's more than triple in about 13 years. So if you're sitting there thinking, man, I should have bought back then, yeah, bro, we all should have. But we can't time travel, so let's figure out what to do now. What is the cheapest place to live in Las Vegas? All right, so if you're looking at that $489K number and going, yeah, there's no way I can afford that, don't panic yet, because here's the question. What is the cheapest place to live in Las Vegas? So Vegas is a big area, and not every neighborhood costs $500,000. There's actually some affordable spots if you know where to look. For buyers, the cheapest areas are North Las Vegas. Median home prices around $300K to $400K. It's not fancy, but it's way more affordable than the Strip or Summerlin. Sunrise Manor, similar price range, good access to the city, decent neighborhoods. Whitney and East Las Vegas, budget-friendly, you're looking at $350K to $420K for a solid house. Now, these aren't going to be those luxury McMansion communities with the fancy gates and the pools shaped like guitars, but they're real neighborhoods where real people live, and you're not going to bleed money just to have a roof over your head. For renters, the cheapest spots are Section 7, average one-bedroom rent around $1,273 per month. West Sahara and Downtown East, some of the lowest rent in the city, around $1,300 to $1,400. Now, are these the Instagram-worthy neighborhoods? Nah, bro. But if your goal is to not go broke paying rent, these are solid options. The key is this. You don't have to live in Summerlin or Henderson to be in Vegas. Those areas are beautiful, but they're expensive. If you're okay with a 15 to 20-minute drive and a neighborhood that's more normal people than golf course and country club, you can save thousands. Why are people moving away from Las Vegas? And now here's a question I see all the time. Why are people moving away from Las Vegas? And look, I gotta be honest, this one's interesting because the data shows people are still moving to Vegas more than they're leaving. Population growth is still positive. But some people are definitely bouncing, and here's why. One, the heat is brutal. I'm talking 115 degrees in the summer. Your steering wheel becomes a weapon. Your mailbox is a health hazard. You can't leave a water bottle in your car or it becomes a mini explosive device. Look, walking to your car in July feels like a boss fight, bro. You're dodging damage. Your HP is dropping just being outside. And your electric bill? Oh man, running AC from May to October is like $400 to $500 a month easy. You're basically paying a second rent just to not melt into your couch. Two, it can feel isolating. Vegas is kind of in the middle of nowhere. LA is 4 hours away, Phoenix is 5 hours. If you're used to being near family or big cities with lots of options, Vegas can feel lonely. Three, the transient culture. A lot of people move to Vegas for work, casinos, construction, hospitality, and then bounce after a few years, so it's hard to build deep roots or long-term friendships sometimes. Four, the Vegas lifestyle isn't for everyone. Some people move there thinking it's going to be glamorous and exciting, and then they realize it's just, well, a regular city with a bunch of tourists on one street and everyone else just trying to live their lives. But here's the thing, even with all that, more people are moving in than moving out. Why? One, no state income tax. If you make $100,000 in California, you're saving like $10,000 a year by living in Nevada. Two, job growth. Tech companies, manufacturing, logistics, Vegas is diversifying hard. Three, affordable compared to California. A $489,000 house in Vegas would cost you like $900,000 to $1.2 million in Orange County. So yeah, some people leave because of the heat and lifestyle, but way more people are showing up because the financial math actually works.
Is it a good time to buy a house in Las Vegas? All right, here's the big one. Is it a good time to buy a house in Las Vegas? So here's the deal. Late 2025 into early 2026 is actually a relatively buyer-friendly time compared to the chaos of 2021-2023. Here's why. Values are up. There's about 4.6 to 5 months of supply on the market right now. That's way better than the 2 to 3 months we saw during the frenzy years. What that means is you actually have options. You can tour multiple houses, think about it, maybe even negotiate a little. Wild, right? Homes are sitting longer. Average time on market is like 45 to 63 days. Back in 2022, houses were gone in a weekend. Now you can actually breathe. New construction companies are desperate to move inventory, so they're offering rate buydowns, closing cost help, free upgrades. That's huge. But here's the catch. Prices are still at record highs, $489K median, so you're not getting a deal in the traditional sense. Mortgage rates are still 6 to 7%. That's double what they were in 2021. Your monthly payment is way higher even if the home price is the same. Inventory is tightening again. It dropped 7% recently just from seasonal stuff. If rates drop in 2026, inventory could vanish fast and we're back to bidding wars. So here's my take.
If you're planning to stay 5+ years and you're financially ready, meaning you've got your down payment, your credit's solid, and you can afford the monthly payment comfortably, then yeah, now is a decent time. You've got negotiating power, inventory to choose from, and you can lock in your housing cost before rates potentially drop and demand explodes again. If you're not sure, or you might move soon, or your finances are shaky, then wait. Don't rush into the biggest purchase of your life just because you feel FOMO. But don't wait forever either, because if rates drop to like 5 to 5.5%, this market is going to get crazy again real quick. Is it better to buy or rent in Las Vegas? All right, last big question. Is it better to buy or rent in Las Vegas? Okay, so this depends on your situation, but let me break down the math so you can decide. Renting right now. Average rent in Vegas is about $1,450 to $1,500 a month, and actually rents are down slightly from last year, which is rare. So if you rent, your monthly cost is lower, you've got flexibility, and you're not responsible for maintenance or repairs. Buying right now. If you buy a $489,000 house with 20% down and a 6.5% mortgage rate, you're looking at about $2,800 to $3,200 a month once you factor in mortgage, insurance, property taxes, HOA, and maintenance. So, yeah, renting is cheaper short term. But, and this is a big but, when you rent, you're paying someone else's mortgage. You're building their wealth. Every month, that $1,500 disappears and you get nothing back. When you buy, even though it's more expensive, you're locking in your housing cost. Your mortgage doesn't go up like rent does. You're building equity every single month. You benefit from appreciation. Vegas homes historically go up 2 to 5% a year. You get tax benefits, mortgage interest deduction, property tax deduction. So if you're staying 5+ years, buying almost always wins long term. If you're not sure about your job, or you might move, or you just hate the idea of being tied down, then rent. Now, here's the thing nobody talks about. The price to rent ratio in Vegas right now is about 25 to 31, which is high. That means homes are expensive relative to rent. Ideally, you want that ratio under 20. When it's over 25, it means renting is more attractive financially in the short term. So it's not a screaming buy like it was in 2010 after the crash, but it's also not terrible if you're ready and committed. My advice? Home. Buy if you're staying 5+ years, you're financially stable, and you want to build wealth. Office. Rent if you need flexibility, you're saving for a bigger down payment, or you just aren't ready yet. And if you're renting, that's fine. Just make sure you're using that extra money you're saving to actually save or invest, not blow it on stuff you don't need. Because the worst thing you can do is rent forever without building wealth somewhere else, and then wake up at 50 with nothing to show for it. All right, bro, I am actually out of breath. But look, here's the bottom line on Las Vegas. Prices are not dropping. They're at record highs. The average home costs $489,000, which is insane for the desert, but it is what it is. Cheapest areas to live are North Las Vegas, Sunrise Manor, and Whitney. You can find homes in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. People are moving away because of heat and lifestyle, but more people are moving in because of jobs, no state income tax, and affordability compared to California. Is it a good time to buy? Yeah, if you're ready and staying long term. You've got options and negotiating power. Buy versus rent. Rent if you need flexibility. Buy if you're staying 5+ years and want to build wealth. And seriously, the Vegas market is not cooked. It's not crashing. It's just balanced, normal. You can actually think before making decisions, which is healthy. But if rates drop and demand explodes again, this window closes fast. And remember, I'm not your financial advisor. I once thought pre-qualified and pre-approved were the same thing. Do your own research, talk to a local realtor, run your numbers. But yo, drop a like if this helped you understand what's actually happening in Vegas. Subscribe so you never miss the next breakdown that could save you thousands. And drop a comment if you're thinking about moving to Vegas or if you're already there sweating 9 months a year. Love y'all legends. See you tomorrow. Let's freaking go.